Hi, we're answering questions about the role of food nutrition in COVID-19. Somebody asked me recently, they said, I'm cooped up and I'm going crazy. I want to have some family or friends to my house for a small party, but wondering if there's anything I should consider. Well, it's important to stay safe even when you're entertaining, and you can start by following social distancing guidelines for your area. These are going to be different based on where you live, but for example, if they've encouraged you to include less than 10 people or the like, I would encourage you to do that. Consider thinking about masks and other social distancing guidelines in your area. But as it relates to the party, think about individual servings. Skip the cheese platter, the fruit or veggie platter, the chips and dip. Instead, use your big platters and cutting boards to display small plates or cups, in other words, individual servings with fruit, nut, cheeses, or whatever it is you plan to serve, but everyone will just pick up a cup and carry it with them as opposed to having the big bowl. Um, so rather than having that veggie platter um, with a bowl of hummus in the middle, think of all those hands going into the dip. Instead of that, think of making individual servings with clear plastic cups or small bowls that have the dip in the bottom, and maybe you have some celery, carrot, broccoli sticks in the top. So when the person grabs that cup off the tray, they have a self-contained, they have in their hand the dip and the veggies they're going to dip into the dip. Another way to think about that is to have a bowl with, or a cup with some salsa in it and another cup with some chips in it. So people walk away with a self-contained chips and salsa rather than having to deal with that double dipping into the large community bowl. Or another way to consider is to consider having a designated server. We're trained to think about having a designated driver at parties sometimes, but maybe you want to have a designated server, somebody who's washed their hands and is wearing gloves and is there to serve all the people at the party. Depending on what you're serving, you might want to consider single-serve condiments like butter, ketchup, mayonnaise that prevents the knife from going in and out of the container or the dish. And if you're celebrating, like if it's a party, a birthday or something, think cupcakes instead of a sheet cake. That's, again, everyone can have their own serving without having to continue to go back to the main cake. And then think about providing to-go containers. If you have leftovers that have been handled by people, it's not likely that you're going to keep those and use those for yourself. So if you provide to-go containers, it'll cut down on the waste, and then people can take the food home with them, which would be nice for them. But ultimately, while considering all of these things, have fun and enjoy your party. I hope that helps.